The Valkyries, a warrior order who have made a deal with the gods. Each one can earn glory for the Vikings' fallen dead. In time, they can win a place for the deserving, but they alone decide for whom they fight. The Valkyrie is a master of the shield and spear, and in today's video, we're gonna go over some tips and tricks on how to get the most out of this awesome character. Alright, so I may be a little biased because this is my favorite character right now, but I plan on doing a video like this for all of the characters eventually. This is just the one that I had the most experience with, so I figured I'd cover her first. Also, it's really important to note that soon they're planning on buffing the Valkyrie, but we don't know exactly when that is, so when that time comes, I'll make an update to this video. As it stands, this is just how she's played in the current version of the game. Anyway, to start with the basics, the Valkyrie is a hybrid Viking character with a measly 120 health. As a quick note, hybrid in this game means that the character typically has a polearm and is a mixture of the other three classes in its faction. For the gear loadout, I've got block damage resistance, stamina regen, block damage, revenge mode duration, exhaustion recovery, revenge mode attack, revenge mode gained by defense, and attack and defense. Now, this is just my playstyle. If I could change anything though, I might be swapping the defense stat for stamina cost reduction, and if I can find it, I'll swap exhaustion recovery with debuff resistance for protection against bleed. For now though, this setup is working out pretty well for me. You guys might have other opinions, but this is just what I've been using. Moving on though, the Valkyrie is definitely one of the tougher characters in the game to truly master, and focuses mainly on disabling the enemy, so let's take a look at her move list. Firstly, we've got several hero-specific perks. We've got superior block light attacks, which allows you to basically counter light attacks with a light attack. Just attack in the direction the enemy light attack is coming from, and you'll block and light attack as well. Dodge counter is a bit like deflect, where you can dodge into an attack and block it. You can also follow up with a shoulder pin, but we'll cover that later. Full stance on shield tackle means you block from every direction, and shield tackle cancel is currently bugged at the moment, if I remember correctly. It won't let you cancel into the guard break, but you can still do the pouncing thrust. Anyway, the Valkyrie has 3 chain combos. Boar Hunter is a light, light, light combo, where the first attack in the chain must connect. If it does, the finisher for this chain does a quick shield smack that does massive stamina damage to the enemy and dazes them, making follow-up attacks on inexperienced players fairly easy. This is a hard attack to land, but it's worth it if you can fit it in. Next up, we've got Thrust and Slash. This is a light, heavy combo with 2 pokes that ends in a nice wide swipe. What I do with this attack is throw the first 2 pokes out, which baits the enemy to come in closer, then they get hit with a heavy attack. I've gotten tons of executions with this strategy, but be careful because more experienced players will pretty much just parry you. The last Valkyrie chain attack is Harrier's Fury. This one starts off with a heavy attack, then goes into 2 light attacks, the last of which is that amazing little shield smack that drains stamina. Similar to Thrust and Slash, this one is a good juke move as well. Bait them in by making them think you missed the heavy attack, then follow up with the light attack and the shield smack. This one is a little better than Boar Hunter because none of the attacks in this chain have to connect for the chain to be executed, so it gives you a little bit of mix-up room. Moving on, the Valkyrie has 3 Initiator attacks. Hunter's Rush is the first one, and while sprinting and not locked on, do a heavy attack. This thing has amazing range, and I usually use it to catch enemies that are running away or dodge to the side at the start of a fight. The other 2 initiators are Pouncing Thrust and Hunter's Strike. These are both light attacks that you can use after dodging forward or to the side. Just dash in a direction and do a light attack. Now we're getting into some bread and butter Valkyrie moves. Shield Crush is a move you're going to be using a lot, as you can chain a lot of other stuff from it. Most importantly, Spear Sweep, but we'll talk about that move in a second. To do a Shield Crush, do a heavy attack, then follow up with a grab. The Shield Crush can be initiated after any heavy attack, so mix it up to throw your opponent off guard. A Spear Sweep can be performed by holding back and pressing the heavy attack button after performing a Shield Crush, a grab throw, a ram's headbutt, or you can do one at the end of any of the chain attacks. It knocks enemies down, and you can usually get a free top heavy attack out of this. Next up, you've got the Shield Tackle. This is initiated by dashing backwards and holding the grab button. While in this stance, you'll block damage from all directions, but your stamina drains as you do it. You can also be grabbed. If you charge up the attack and let it go though, you'll fly forward and knock the enemy down. This attack is very predictable and easy to dodge though, so I only use it when I think an enemy is about to attack or charge at me. This next attack is the shoulder pin. If you can land this, it's absolutely devastating. One of the Valkyrie's perks is that she does a quick block in the direction she's dashing. If you block an attack like this, quickly follow up with a heavy attack. This is the kind of like the Orochi and the Peacekeeper deflect. If it lands, the attack applies bleed, and since it's a heavy attack, you can transition into a shield crush or a grab. If you go for a shield crush, you can also do a spear sweep and get a free top heavy attack in. As a quick note though, for some stupid reason, the shoulder pin is blockable. I'm not sure if this is a bug or not, but it doesn't make sense seeing as the other deflect attacks in the game are unblockable. Just make sure you use this skill with caution. So real quick, let's talk about the Valkyrie's grab. You've got 3 options when you grab an opponent as a Valk. 1, you can perform a Ram's Headbutt. This is done by grabbing, then holding the grab again to charge the attack. The longer you charge, the further the enemy is thrown. After this attack, you can then follow up with a quick spear sweep to knock the enemy down. Number 2, you can press grab again in whatever direction to push the enemy. This can also be followed up with a spear sweep, or number 3, you can grab and end with a heavy attack. Transition this into a shield crush and then into a spear sweep. So that's pretty much the entire move list in detail. I know that was a lot of information, and the Valkyrie in particular has a ton of different things to remember, so let me break down how I use all this, and let's talk about the Valkyrie Vortex. But first, you might be wondering what the hell a Vortex even is. Simply put, a Vortex is a fighting game term that describes the number of attacks you can make after landing certain attacks. It's like your bread and butter moveset, so to speak. Some characters in For Honor have a Vortex, and some don't. So let's talk about the Valkyrie Vortex in particular. To initiate a fight, I'll usually go for a Hunter's Rush or a Pouncing Strike. From here, I can bait out a parry or go on the offensive. Getting a parry gives me a free grab to start my Vortex. The objective here is just to get them on the ground, and spear sweep is the best way to do that. The Valk doesn't do a lot of damage from light attacks, so those free top heavies while they're knocked down are going to be your main source of damage. From here, it's just rinse and repeat. Try to grab or feint a heavy attack into a shield crush, then spear sweep or chain grabs right after a shield crush to really throw them for a loop. But that's really it. Now, because every encounter is a little different, I realize covering how to master a character in one video is a bit much to ask for. I've played the Valkyrie for over 50 hours so far, and I still feel like I have a lot to learn about the game in general. That's why in the future I'd like to do a gameplay analysis video series as I learn new characters, and I invite you guys to offer your input on those as well so we learn this game as a community. If you think that's a good idea, let me know in the comments down below because I'm really excited to hear what you guys think about this idea. But that's gonna be it for today, guys. If you found this video helpful, leave a like down below. If you're new here, consider subscribing, and if I left anything out, let me know down in the comments. Until next time though, I'm BouseFeenux. I'll see you at the next video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.